Hello everybody, this is Pyra, and I just wanted to go over with you all the patch 7.1 preliminary patch notes for Crossroads. Now, patch 7.1 is going to be the first major patch since the release of Dawn Trail this past summer, and it is going to be dropping this Tuesday, November 12th. Now, before we get into the full details of what's coming on Tuesday, there is a large section here of things that are going to be coming in post-patches after 7.1, after Tuesday. The first one is Futures Rewritten Ultimate is not going to be released until patch 7.11. Custom Deliveries, Wachumeki Meki Quests, and New Hildebrand will not be releasing until patch 7.15. The Chaotic Alliance raids will be approximately 1 week after patch 7.15, and additional role quests will be implemented in 7.16. We know from the last live letter as well that there's going to be some more content all the way through about January that is kind of mapped out, but as far as what we're looking at today in the preliminary patch notes, it's really going to be summed up into everything that is going to be implemented on Tuesday the 12th. And so without further ado, let us look into it. So the first thing is we have an updated trailer, a new trailer to watch for patch 7.1 Crossroads. I would implore you to go look at it if you haven't watched it already to get a little teaser for what is to come. The first main thing that we're going to be getting in patch 7.1 is new main scenario quests. So this is definitely going to be going right off of where we left off in Dawn Trail, and there has been a little bit of screenshots of Solution 9, some screenshots of Baby Galulja, and this is definitely taking off of where we kind of left off in Dawn Trail, and we will see where it takes us into the future. This will be starting off in Tulio Lull if you want to start with the MSQ. As well with the MSQ, now there will be MSQ markers added to the minimap. So anytime you look at a minimap, you will see which direction the MSQ is in, which will be super helpful if that is your main focus. So the next thing to be added is Chronicles of a New Era quests for the Echoes of Vana'diel. Of course, the Echoes of Vana'diel is our new Alliance raid series. This is the crossover between Final Fantasy XI and Final Fantasy XIV. And in order to start the Alliance raids, you will have to go to Tulio Lull and start the quest line. And so before we move on to the next thing, also, they're doing something a little different, and we're getting one more quest for Pandemonium Epilogue. So kind of neat that they're doing this because, you know, Pandemonium is far in the rearview mirror back in Endwalker. However, we are getting one more quest to kind of tie any loose ends from the Pandemonium raid series story. Up next is the Pelu Pelu Allied Society quests. These are going to be for battle jobs, which I know a lot of people were hoping that they're going to be for crafters or gatherers, but the Pelu Pelu is going to be for battle jobs. This is a great way to level up, especially if you are not someone who likes to play a certain role. Like myself, I am not a big fan of melee, so this is probably the way that I'm going to be leveling up those classes. They are going to have a base in Kazumauka, complete with a new aethery on the east side of the map for you to be able to get quick, easy access to the Allied Society. And the starting point for this quest line in order to unlock them is also going to be in Tulio Lull. The next thing is going to be a slight shift in the hide other people near quest NPCs. You will no longer hide friends list by default, so you can definitely turn it on. However, if people are on your friends list, that will not hide them when you go up to an NPC by default. The layout for the quest completion window has been adjusted. Now if you press complete before selecting an optional reward, a reward selection window will now pop up to make it a little easier in order to select your reward. We have some duty list adjustments in the works as well. The duty list will now show up to 10 duties at once, but this can be adjusted. You can now perform emotes or open crafting log from items on the duty list. And then when using a controller, the cursor will no longer remain on the duty list after selecting an icon to complete a quest objective. And when carrying out trade, craft, guild leaves, icons on the duty list can now be selected to open the crafting log. New chapters have been added to New Game Plus. Now you can go all the way back through Dawn Trail MSQ and role quests in your New Game Plus. The duty tab of the Unending Journey will now be categorized by expansion, making it ever so easier to go through and watch those cutscenes again. We're gonna get some new items available for bicolored gemstones. Those are the ones that you get from Fates, which is really good since a lot of people farm those and have nothing really important to spend those on. Treasure dungeons, treasure hunts, rewards for maps and treasure dungeons have been adjusted. It doesn't say which way they've been adjusted, it just notes that they have been adjusted. And the moment a lot of people have been waiting for, the interior designs of houses can now be changed, which means you can get rid of those pillars and beams with some of the designs, as it kind of shows here, a minimalist style. This is something that should have come years ago, but better late than never. Next up on the list for housing is furnishing items. We are finally going to be seeing some of the interior furnishings that were created in the 2019 contest and the 2022 contest. And there are a lot of really cute ones here. Everything from like really neat kind of greenery all the way through wrestling rings and a pool table. A lot of really cool stuff. So it looks like they're adding a lot of those items that people have been asking for years in. New orchestrion rolls have been added. New aquarium fish have been added. New paintings have been added. New seeds for flower pots. So like kind of a little bit of everything housing that I can tell so far. And next up we have the Manderville Gold Saucer, of course, with all of these new creatures, bosses, etc. We have new prizes available for MGP. We have new triple triad cards and new Mahjong voices. So this we heard about at the live letters, but we are getting character voices in Mahjong. I don't know a single person who plays Mahjong, but I know it's popular in other regions, so that'll be something fun and new for those who like to spend some time in the Gold Saucer. Halatali and Uwe Yawada Field Station got duty support. Halatali also got reworked with the Trust, and they'll be reworking all of the optional dungeons. So stay tuned to see what that means exactly. Wondrous Tales prizes have been adjusted. We're now going to see more prizes for bronze, silver, and gold certificates. Players can start selecting gold certificates starting at level 60, and Arcadian M1 to M4 has been added as possible duties. So now all of the Asphodelos, Abyssos, and Abyssios duties will be lumped together in their respective raid tier. All the leveling and high leveling dungeons have been consolidated a bit. Just as we get more levels, it is going to be consolidated a little bit nicer and easier. Fall Hollows have also been adjusted. So now Thornton Unreal is going to be out and Byakuo Unreal is coming in. And of course, a new mount will be available for the Faux Leaves as shown right here. Duties available for Duty Recorder have been changed. It looks like we are getting a couple new ones, and now I don't see Everkeep. So before it says Thalia, War Correlidor, and Everkeep, now it just shows Thalia, War Correlidor, the Interfos, and AAC Light Heavyweight M4 Savage. The Show on Map subcommand has been added to the sightseeing log. And next up, new hairstyles designed by a Final Fantasy XIV design contest entry is now going to be available. This is from the 2023 design contest, and we also have a new hairstyle for Viera and Hrothgar. Got like a short wavy situation going on there. I do really love the texture. For Viera, another short hairstyle. I don't know about the one on the right. I feel like we have that already. I don't really like, or yes, we do have that already, but not for Viera. Okay. I was gonna say, these do seem basic. I'm not really a short hairstyle fan, so a lot of the short hairstyles look all the same to me. But options, and I know my fellow Viera and then Hrothgars will probably rejoice for just having a couple additional options. A new emote is coming, and it is a bartending emote. So it'll be you with kind of the cocktail shaker. That'll be something very fun to look forward to. And now a bunch of emotes can now be used while sitting on the ground, and the motion of some have been adjusted for when you're sitting on the ground as well. It'll be good to check those out once you're in-game. And now the next major category is battle system. We did get a bunch of battle system adjustments. Firstly, the HUD explanations for Black Mage and Viper have been updated. We are getting a new dungeon with the new MSQ coming in. The Yue Yawata field station has been added. Of course, like I noted, you unlock this through the MSQ. Drop rates for the minions in the last 3 dungeons of Endwalker have been increased. So anybody trying to still get the Starbird should be happy, myself included. A new trial has been added, so we got Sfien's Burden in the Dawntrail main expansion, and now we will have the Minstrel's Ballad Sfien's Burden available, otherwise known as Sfien's Burden Extreme, or otherwise known as Sfien, as everyone likes to yell every time they're in that fight. In order to unlock this as well, you just need to have the Dawntrail MSQ completed and then talk to the Wandering Minstrel in order to unlock it. The Yako Unreal has been added, otherwise known as Jade Stoa Unreal. Weekly restrictions on Arcadian Normal have been removed. And now, while we say that this doesn't count the Hollow Blade for the tome weapons though, that is still going to drop at once per week. And now the number of Hollow Blades required is now going to be reduced from 7 down to 4. As we noted before, we are getting the new Alliance raid, the Final Fantasy XI crossover, and this one is going to be called Juno the First Walk. This can be unlocked in Tulio Lal, and you can get gear drops and 1 token per week that can be exchanged for upgrade materials for tome gear, either a twine or a shine. Tattered sheet music will also drop and can be exchanged with the Peculiar Goblin in Lower Juno for music from Echoes of Vana'diel. And just a note for those who may be new to Alliance raids as they come out, you can only get 1 piece of gear per week from this fight. So while this is still fresh and new, you can only get 1 thing. So don't roll on any piece of gear just because it pops up, because once you get it, you are locked for the rest of the week. Then next up, now sacks of nuts can also be used to trade in to buy upgrade materials now. The Unreal and Extreme have been added to the Raid Finder, and the Chaotic category has also been added in preparation of the Chaotic Raid that is coming up later this month. Valley Garmanda as well as Zoralja Extremes have been added to the Duty Finder, and those fights as well as Interfos will now have the Echo implemented. The new dungeon will be added to Expert Roulette, of course, and the average item level is going from 670 all the way to 690. If you are a mentor, Juno the First Walk as well as Yue Yawata Field Station are going to be added into Mentor Roulette. Sfien Extreme is going to be added into Stone Sky Sea. And of course, as we noted before, Halatali is getting an update. The Hall of the Novice is also going to be getting a big update to show and explain how a lot of current battle mechanics work in the game. This is huge, honestly. This is going to be really good for any new players, and hopefully we'll see less people running away from everyone with the stack marker. This is something that, again, I think could have been implemented a lot sooner. However, better late than never. For PvPers, hit detection for PvP actions are going to be updated, and Series 6 is going to end, and then the new Series 7 will begin. If you were watching this before the servers go down for maintenance, please get any Series 6 things that you have to get done out of the way, because once maintenance starts, it will be over for Series 6, and we will be moving on to Series 7. And of course, with Series 7, we will be getting a new batch of rewards. Crystalline Conflict is going to get some updates in gameplay and in maps. Ranked PvP will also be held on specific data centers, which is going to be pretty interesting. And so these are the specific data centers in question. Some quick chat options have been added or adjusted. Now people who spam good match to be a troll cannot do that anymore. It can now be only used at the end of a match. So that is a good update. Of course, as well, we have Purify and Guard as a quick chat option for Crystalline Conflict. Rival Wings is also getting a facelift. It is getting a bunch of adjustments. I am not super privy to all of the things of Rival Wings, so I recommend if you are a PvP person, definitely pause this video or go to the patch notes themselves and check out the specifics there. Our next big category now is items. So the first is going to be the Final Fantasy XI gear drops from the Alliance raid. Very dark. I can't really differentiate them that much from each other, but I think if you play 11, you will understand where these come from. I have heard that it is kind of like the Warriors of Darkness, but for Final Fantasy 11-ish. But let me know in the comments below if I am wrong there. We are getting a bunch, this one I'm super excited for. We are getting a bunch of weapons from previous design contests, and it is a lot of like silverware style options. Fork with cake. Knife, fork, spoon, fork, things of that nature. They're all super goofy in the best way possible. Nutkins and bouquet of flower guns and umbrellas. It is top tier. I don't know where we're getting these items. However, I'm excited for them. It is pretty neat that we're getting some fun options in the game. Some new recipes have been added for a new craftable set. This is going to be kind of a fall winter themed set, and it is absolutely adorable. We have the hat, the scarf, kind of like jacket sweater combo, and then it looks like either shorts or pants, and then some nice shoe sock combos. A bunch of item sets have now had gender locks removed, which is pretty cool. Now, all of these here, you do not have to be on a specific gendered character in order to wear. There's a lot of little details coming up to the items category, but really, we're getting kind of a potential facelift to the glamour dresser. If you own all the items for a specific outfit, you can now kind of combine them to take up less space in your glamour dresser. I'm still a little skeptical about how this will work, but I'm excited to see something like this happen. Hopefully it is a good change that they're going to implement. Items can now be purchased from shops in increments up to 999, so no longer just 99. It is a huge upgrade for certain items. Crafting actions can now be done directly from the calculations window, which is pretty neat. Some filters have been added to the gathering log. Crafted 710 gear can now be upgraded to 720 in Solution 9. This is the vendor that you can see. It's Aerine in Solution 9, and the item required is going to be the Everkeep Certificate of Grade 1 Import / Everkeep Rain. New fishing holes have been added, so fishers rejoice on more places to fish. The exclamation mark will still display over your head when battle effects are turned off, which is fantastic so that you don't miss when a fish bites. The desynthesis cap has been increased from 710 to 720. More things on the new items front. New mounts have been added, including the Swole Tender, as a lot of people call them. Bunch of new mounts from what we saw at the letter from the producer live, which is super exciting. New chocobo barding has been added. This looks like it'll probably be from the Sphène's Burden Extreme fight. Looks very Sphène-esque there. New minions have been added, including this adorable jackrabbit-looking minion and this toucan. And then new fashion accessories have been added. So we know we already had the Gleaner's backpack, and now we're getting this kind of different style backpack that you can wear in-game. New facewear has been added, so anybody who wants to use the new feature in Dawntrail that we have with the facewear, so you can wear your glasses along with your hat, that is a new option coming in as well. And the final category of the patch notes, the system updates. First is graphical updates. So the dev team has gotten a lot of response about the changes that came in Dawntrail, and a bunch of adjustments have been made to accommodate a lot of the most talked about, the most concerned features. Because of that as well, there is going to be a limited time file of Fantasia that you can get from the Wandering Moogle and Old Gridania, but this is only for a limited period of time. This is one free Fantasia. However, this reward is only available from 7.1 to 7.2, and it is because of the graphical changes. They will not be offering this after that point. Some transparency effects have been updated on some gear, especially between like the Type B leggings, ribboned gloves, certain gear's materials that kind of warrant that transparency effect. Toes are getting better detail. Apparently people are really passionate about their toes. A a lot of different sandals for this type of update, which I do have to say it looks very good. I never thought that they would care that much, but they're really trying to take the community's feedback straight to heart and make things happen if it is possible. Character tilt has been added when turning, and also you can toggle the effects while in motion on or off for mountain character tilt. So if it's something that you really don't like, you can go back to the way things were, which is a really cool option. Some of the 2.0 areas are getting some graphical updates as well. This is an example of vegetation, how it is now and how it's going to be. You can really tell that it looks a lot more three-dimensional, a lot less kind of clunky two-dimensional. And these are some photos as well of before and after of some of the 2.0 areas. Definitely getting a lot of minor adjustments. It's wild even down here just seeing how different everything's gonna look. And they're adding to the vegetation too. It's not even just enhancing. They are adding some new items to try to make things look a little more, and even on this one too, to try to make the environment look more lively, look a little bit like what we can expect from maps post-Dawn Trail. Some of the next system additions will be instanced zones. Some instance zones are getting added while others are being removed that are no longer needed. Retainers are going to be getting some adjustments. They can get some new items, which is one of the first perks, and now the UI has been updated to show the amount of slots filled and the total amount of gil being held right from the main retainer menu. New achievements and titles have been added. Of course, a lot to the new duties that are coming in patch 7.1. New icons next to the recently used Aethernet shards in the Aethernet window will now be available. The total number of hunt marks needed will show in the recommendations list, so you have an idea of how many you have to kill before just starting to kill them and wait for the pop-up, which is a nice little addition there. Next, you can now adjust your own spot in the party list, which has never been added before. You used to be able to right now you can only change other people in your list, but now you won't have to have yourself at the top, which I think is a very nice addition, especially if you are playing a healer. And some other changes are going to be added to the party menu, like drag and drop for sorting. Portraits are getting a nice update. Hopefully it will work, because I know a lot of people have issues with portraits. Now, when you change gear, you will get a confirmation window instead of having to manually update it, which is fantastic. And hopefully this will prevent portraits from breaking. New portrait and portrait things have been added as well. New accents, backgrounds, etc. We're also going to be getting more updates to G-pose and some additional new things there as well. A bunch of other little things have been adjusted and added. Nothing too crazy, but just a bunch of like little things there. And one of the next big ones, scrolling through a lot of this, it is a lot of tedious things, so I'll kind of leave it to those who want to read every little nook and cranny. Now, the next big thing that I see is that character settings can now be copied to a different character on the same service account and device. This is perfect for anybody who has alts and who wants the same settings on different characters, like different alts. No more messing around with folders on your PC. It is just now an easy setting that you can use. Now, next up, you can now set the main expansion theme in movie/video that shows when launching the game to whichever expansion that makes you happy. Backgrounds in the launcher can now be changed, a little something, but you can now change the background here so you don't always see the Warrior of Light. You might be able to see Kryl or Wuk-Lamat or Grahatia or Erenville, or just have a plain Dawn Trail background. And then the very last thing here is for Xbox players. They can now access a buy FFXIV coins in the tab in the launcher menu. So that is it. That's it? That is it for the preliminary patch notes. I did skip a handful of things that were very small and insignificant in my opinion. I would recommend, if you are someone who likes to get the full details, go and read the patch notes. The link will be in the description below. And thank you so much for watching, friends. Let me know in the comments below what you are most looking forward to in patch 7.1. I am looking forward mostly to just new content. My next big thing that I will be really getting into will be Futures Rewritten Ultimate. So for myself, it'll be a lot of prep before then, as well as just enjoying the MSQ, enjoying the new alliance raids, and all the little things in between. If you are someone who likes to keep up with Final Fantasy XIV news, content, and more, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It means a lot to me and my channel, and I stream multiple days per week on Twitch and YouTube, so come hang out, join the Discord, join the chaos, and we will see you in game. Bye!